Hello, everybody. Today we're going to be talking about a Catholic priest from Pennsylvania who used church donations for his own personal gain. What happened? So, a Catholic priest in Pottstown, Pennsylvania is facing criminal charges after police accused him of stealing over $40,000 of church money and spending the funds on mobile app games like Candy Crush, Pokemon Go, slot machines apps, and more. According to a criminal affidavit written by a Pennsylvania State Police detective, the church leader has been identified as Father Lawrence Kozak, a former priest at St. Thomas More Parish. So I guess this man thought he can just use the collection plate as just another donation for another level of Candy Crush and Pokemon Go. He was basically using donations and church money to just fund his phone gaming. That's all it really seems like. So according to a criminal affidavit written by a Pennsylvania State Police detective, the Catholic priest was arrested on April 25th, 2024, after police learned that he made over 2,200 gaming transactions under his Apple ID. So how much money was actually stolen? Authorities discovered that all of the purchases were made between September 2019 and June 2022 and totaled $214,000. Of that sum, just under $44,000 in transactions were charged to a credit card belonging to the church he led. So he paid $44,000 worth of gaming transactions on his phone from the church's credit card. After being removed from church, he was also accused of sending a letter and a check for $8,000 to Father Thomas Kletzel, the new priest at St. Thomas More Parish. Additionally, investigators said that the Catholic priest reportedly paid over $10,000 towards the church's credit card balance from an account not associated with the parish. It is also reported that the priest has been confronted about his costly spending under the church's accounts in the past and had been warned by the church's business manager who told him, "I don't want to see your name in the paper." So basically his own friends were trying to look out for him, but what they needed to do was take his phone away, take his credit cards away, pull up just like Team Rocket and blast off with his devices and his wallet. That's where they went wrong. Purchases. So what did this man of God actually buy? It was reported that several of the purchases made by the Catholic priest using the church's money, again, the church's money, were from popular mobile apps like Candy Crush, Pokemon Go, Mario Kart, and multiple slot machine games. One of them named was called Cash Frenzy, Willy Wonka's Vegas Casino Slots, and Wizard of Oz slot machine game. So at least he wasn't playing dating simulator games, just Pokemon and gambling games. It's still just as bad, but at least he's not simping and using the Lord's money for it. It's reported that the slot machine apps do not award any real-world money for wins in the game, but they do allow you to spend real-world money to play. When investigators questioned the Catholic priest about his alleged gambling habit, he reportedly told them that the purchases he made did not qualify as gambling, but instead as powering up. Nothing like powering up with the Lord's money, you know? Nothing like the Lord's money to make you feel like you're doing good in the world. But every time that collection plate went around, he was rubbing his hands like a fly because he knew that he was going to be able to use that money for his next Pokemon Go app purchase or his next spiel on the roulette for the Willy Wonka. When detectives reviewed the Catholic priest's Amazon account, they also found that he allegedly used the church money to purchase gifts for his goddaughter, including an Amazon Fire tablet and a chemistry set. Investigators said they discovered the church's credit card linked to the purchases, and when he was questioned by investigators, Kozak explained that both his Apple Card and the parish credit card, the church credit card, were attached to his Apple ID because of expenses related to work. When gaming, however, he said he would fail to notice when he went beyond the credit limit left on his Apple Card, and that the charges would then be kicked over to the parish or the church's credit card. My question is, why did he have so much access to these credit cards? Out of all people, why give that kind of access to a priest or one single person? Something like that should have been shared with a group of people or accountants related to the church. It seems like they were giving too much trust or just didn't have a good plan in place to stop this from happening in the first place. Also, I have never heard of charges being kicked over to another card. I thought the purchase wouldn't just go through, But what do I know? I'm not a bank or a credit card lender. Kozak told investigators he had begun seeing a counselor to deal with his addictive tendencies. Kozak expressed feelings of stupidity because he would pay the bottom line when it came to his bills, the document says. He, Kozak, indicated that his father would warn him in reference to this and tell him he has to look at what he's paying for. Kozak related to his father that he doesn't do that and he sees the bottom line and makes a payment. The priest said he was disappointed that he let it get like this, and that there's no excuse except that he wasn't paying attention and should have been. What do you mean you're not paying attention to your purchases? Really? He basically was Team Rocket, just spending away, right? It reminds me how like Jesse and James would come up with these elaborate schemes and come out with these crazy robot machines to try and capture Pikachu. I always thought, where would they get all this money from and who was steady inventing this stuff, because it wasn't them. When asked if he was aware he was improperly using the parish's credit card, Kozak said he had no memory of ever deliberately doing so. However, the parish's business manager disputed that and told detectives that she discussed with the priest the need for him to separate his personal expenses and church expenses paid for by the parish. Again, the parish is the church's credit card. The woman also told investigators that Kozak, who opened the church's mail, by the way, would have seen the credit card statements that were 8 or more pages long because of the number of transactions he made. In a statement obtained by the local news in Philadelphia, archdiocese officials said that Kozak had been on administrative leave since November 2022. So he's already been getting eyeballed and looked upon for what he's been doing, and they should have just been more on top of the situation. So not only do you have access to credit cards, but also the mail. Do priests just have free reign in churches to do and spend how they please? I got into the wrong career because sheesh, I didn't know I could spend that much money with a church. But I think this touches on a deeper topic and connection related to video game addiction and its effect on people. Internet gaming disorder. One study from the Harvard Health states gaming has also been associated with psychological problems. It is still an open question whether video game addiction or internet gaming disorder is a unique syndrome. According to the American Psychological Association, IGD is defined as experiencing at least 5 of the following 9 criteria over a 12-month period. So these are kind of like the symptoms or what the person is doing. Gaming preoccupation, withdrawal, tolerance, loss of interest in other activities, downplaying use, loss of relationship, educational, or career opportunities, gaming to escape or relieve anxiety, guilt, or negative mood states, failure to control, continued gaming despite psychosocial problems. According to one study from the American Journal of Psychiatry, between 0.3% and 1.0% of Americans might have an internet gaming disorder. Treatments for this problem are a work in progress, as the disorder isn't fully understood or agreed upon, but can include public health approaches such as education and harm reduction, stricter labeling on the packaging, on gaming packages, I guess, as well as some cognitive behavioral therapy for these people. Another study, because I like to do multiple studies, a second study done by the Cleveland Clinic states, in general, for internet gaming disorder to be diagnosed, your gaming behavior patterns must be extreme enough to result in significant impairment to your personal, family, social, educational, and or occupational functioning. These patterns usually have to exist for at least 1 year. And remember, Kozak was already on administrative leave since 2022. Researchers are still learning about video game addiction, internet gaming disorder. So far, they've established some factors that may put people at higher risk for developing the condition. Psychological risk factors related to internet gaming disorder include impulsivity, low self-control, anxiety. Some behavioral risk factors related to internet gaming disorder include spending an increasing amount of money on gaming, increasing weekday gaming time, attending offline gaming community meetings, having a gaming community membership. Studies show that video game addiction affects only a small number of people who play online games or video games. If you play video games, it's important to be aware of the amount of time you're spending playing them. This is especially important if you're starting to neglect other daily activities such as hygiene, social interactions, and school or work. These behaviors could be early signs of video game addiction. It seems to me that this priest had some kind of addiction that he was trying to get control of, but with that much access to money, he probably just couldn't handle it and he just went way, way, way over the deep end. You know, imagine having access to, I don't know if the credit card at the church was unlimited, but it seemed like the funds were somewhat unlimited, that he was able to just keep spending and spending away, which is the awful part about it. Charges and news clips section. So, Father Kozak has since been charged with theft by unlawful taking, failing to make required disposition of funds, and accessing a device to which he was unauthorized. So 3 separate charges. Since his arrest for allegedly stealing, the Catholic priest has posted bail and has awaited further hearings. As usual, I like showing a different perspective through video evidence, so I'm going to show you a news clip related to the same story.
New at 11 now, a Catholic priest in Chester County is accused of stealing money from the parish. Lawrence Kozak is charged with theft and related crimes. Investigators say he racked up more than $40,000 in expenses over the course of 3 years. Some of the money was used to play cell phone games. Kozak was removed from his position at St. Thomas More Church in Pottstown back in November of 2022.
What are your thoughts on this story or on video game addiction? Let me know in the comments below. As always, thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more videos exposing scams or just other news stories that I enjoy talking about. Until next time, see you later. Have a great day. Peace.